because of whatever little bit of fight that has happened or struggles that women have gone through, a certain amount of physical freedom has come to you. You're throwing it away with pornography. That means you're anyway an object. And especially I've met hundreds of them, early age, they've gone into these things and how distorted they've become and how they suffer within themselves. Tomorrow, to have meaningful relationships with people around them, they become so sick. I don't even want to say these things in front of you. I'm not telling all of you become brahmacharis and go somewhere. No, that's only for certain people who have the capacity to do that. But you must conduct your life in a dignified manner. Where is the dignity in this? Where is the dignity for the woman in a pornography? If you don't get my point, whatever pornography that's happening there, put your mother's face on that lady who's there.
This is a big difference that you see in the understanding of life between East and West is, West has always talked about release. Everything, you must release it. Your psychological situations, you must find release either in somebody or something. But the Eastern way of life is always, don't release. Whether it's your anger or your hatred or your lust, whatever, keep it inside, cook yourself. If you don't allow it any release, it'll shoot up. This is yoga. Don't allow it to release anywhere. Plug all the holes. If you plug all the holes, it'll only go up. So this is the way of Tantra. This is where these philosophies are totally diametrical to other ways. What they're saying is, whatever you may do, whether you get angry, or you lustful, or hatred, it's tremendous energy, isn't it? Anger is great energy, isn't it? Hatred is great energy, lust is great energy. All you have to learn is not to kill the energy, not to release the energy, just to transform the energy a little bit. A man who is even incapable of anger, definitely he'll be incapable of love also. Definitely he'll be incapable of any great compassion. If energy is bursting in the form of anger, lust or hatred, don't try to kill that energy. All you have to do is transform it, redirect it in the right direction. Because who you are is energy, isn't it? What you call as life is energy. Whatever that you are referring to as the divine is also energy. All you have to do is just find it the right kind of pathway. You have accumulated enough energy where it can be so threatening that it threatens your life. It becomes so powerful within you that it threatens your very life. Unless energy is that powerful, it will not get anywhere, it will not carry you far enough. I'm talking about this because so many of you have gone through these phases, and when it gets too much, you're looking for releases. Many times situations have come up within you that you can't bear it anymore. Then you go and find a release. You want to read a book, you want to switch on the television, or you want to distract yourself. You want to break the practice for a few days for some reason. You do these things because it's a release. You're finding a release for yourself. It feels good. But if you go on releasing like this, you will never have the necessary energy to burst into a different dimension. You are not going to walk into the next dimension. You have to burst into the next dimension. So if you want to burst, first thing you must bloat to a bursting point. When you bloat sufficiently, will break you. So the practices that you're doing, all the methods that we have used is mainly to increase the energy levels in such a way that gradually it finds its way. If you allow it to find its way naturally, it may take a long time, and because you will not know where you're finding releases for it, you may never know whether it's going somewhere or not going somewhere. So there is always a guidance to lead it on. So your business is just to raise your energy. Where it goes, you don't worry. Once you have a guru in your life, he takes care as to where it should go. But it's your business to pump it up. If you don't kick up enough energy, then nothing can be done about it.
Namaskaram, Sadhguru. It seems that how to stop watching porn is one of the highest search questions on the internet. I have a few former classmates that got addicted to it and their life turned upside down. Why do people get addicted and how they can easily come out of it?
See, you must understand, pornography does not mean sexuality. It's a kind of a sickness that you're developing. When I say sickness, sexuality is not a sickness, it's part of our making. We are here because of that. We are not here for that, we are here because of that. We are born out of it. So it's not a question of right and wrong, it's just that for every other creature, nature controlled their sexuality because their sexuality is seasonal. Rest of the time, they don't even know who is male, who is female. Hello? So nature controlled them. Why do you think nature took away that control from you? Because it believed that you got little more brains. But you're trying to prove you don't have that. Yes, because at a young age if you watch those things, nothing else will be happening in your head. So in this process, I would say women have a much bigger responsibility and a need to stop these things because nobody's saying anything about it. And now they're beginning to say it is fashionable even for women also to watch about it. Somebody is saying this is sex education. No, it is none of those things. Because of whatever little bit of fight that has happened or struggles that women have gone through, a certain amount of physical freedom has come to you. You're throwing it away with pornography. That means you're anyway an object, all right? If you want to become a being, you must protest against this, not on the streets, wherever you see it, you must stop it right there. You must understand, this is not about somebody's joy, somebody's enjoyment, somebody's pleasure. This is about objectifying a woman, making a thing out of you. If women don't take this, that much is not there in the man's head yet. Unless they evolve, yes. And especially I've met hundreds of them, early age, they've gone into these things and how distorted they've become and how they suffer within themselves. Tomorrow, to have meaningful relationships with people around them, they become so sick, I don't even want to say these things in front of you. The kind of things they have told me, what they go through because they got addicted to this thing, when they were very young. So how do I get rid of it? You must understand this. As I told you, nature released you from a certain binding, thinking you are a conscious life, that you will do everything consciously. It did not mean that you are supposed to be doing just that all the time, reproductive activity. So, it's not about pleasure, it's not about joy, it's not about love, it is just a compulsiveness. If you do not understand compulsiveness is slavery, then what to do with you? Hello? You don't understand that compulsiveness is slavery? Consciousness is the only liberation we have. So, there is no need to give it up. Just no need to go there, that's all. What is there to give it up? Is it happening here? No, it's happening in my head. See, your head is like that, whatever you imprint this with, that's what will happen. This is the nature of your head. You must understand, every technology, every convenience that comes to you want to use it for your own destruction. Oh, what is the harm, Sadhguru? This is the harm. Your mothers and your sisters and every other woman who is around you are reducing them into objects. I'm not telling all of you become brahmacharis and go somewhere. No, that's only for certain people who have the capacity to do that. But you must conduct your life in a dignified manner. Where is the dignity in this? Where is the dignity for the woman in a pornography? Hello? Where is the dignity? So you think by denying dignity for half the population on the planet, human population on the planet, you think you'll find some pleasure? Disgusting. So, this is not a moral issue, this is a psychological sickness issue, you understand? It's a mental health issue. So, it is not morality, you are becoming mentally sick. Just because you see something ugly and say he among friends, don't think you're doing something great. You're doing the dumbest thing that's possible. If you don't get my point, whatever pornography that's happening there, put your mother's face on that lady who's there. I think you'll get the point.
The word Shiva has become synonymous with the third eye. The third eye, what it means is, these two eyes are to look outside. These two eyes are capable of showing you the physicality of the existence. These two eyes can only perceive that which is physical. The third eye is an inward-focused eye. It's not going to open up upon your forehead. The third eye is an inward-looking eye. But you have heard stories, Shiva opened his eyes and he burnt Kama.
In India, there is a god of love and lust called Kama. Kama means lust, which you don't like to face it head-on, so you make it love. Because you need some aesthetic to it. So, he hides behind a tree and shoots an arrow at Shiva's heart. Tuck, it hits him and Shiva gets a little disturbed. Then he sees it's Kama. That is, it's his own lust coming up. Then he opened up his third eye, a fiery eye, and burnt Kama. He was hiding behind a tree, but he was burnt into ashes. Then Shiva took the ashes of this burnt Kama and smeared himself. That I have put these things to rest for good. That is the general story told to the people. But you tell me, your lust arises within you or behind the tree? No, you may go behind the tree, that's another matter. But where does it arise? Within you.
Desire is not hanging outside. It is not because a beautiful woman or a beautiful man is sitting there, your desire comes. Because the desire, the karma is within you. So he opened his third eye and burned the karma within himself, not the one who is standing outside. Because he never ever stood outside. Please look at this and see. Your lustfulness, your desiring nature never ever stood outside, it only stood inside.
So he opened his third eye, not this way, inward. Then he saw this lustfulness, which essentially means that some aspects are built into you which makes you feel incomplete. So you think you will find completion only by going towards something or somebody. Lust is not just about opposite sex, shopping is lust. Because you have to go towards something, only then life will be complete. Every desire is lust, because without that I cannot exist. I want that, because only when I have that, this will be complete. It may be a thing, it may be a position, it may be power, it may be sexuality, it doesn't matter what it is. Essentially, lust means it creates a sense of incompleteness within you and a longing for something that it makes you feel if you don't have that, you are not complete. So he decides to burn the kama within himself. He burned the kama and then instead of sweat, ash oozed out of the pores of his body. This is the yogic story. The common story told to the public is he was hiding behind the tree and he burnt him, opened his eyes and burnt him, and then he took that ash and smeared himself. The yogic dimension of the story is kama arose within him, he opened his third eye, burnt him, and then ash slowly oozed out of his body, clearly showing him everything is laid to rest.
Everything that you know as yourself should die. When I say death, it's not the physical death which is a problem. The question is losing everything that you know as myself right now, your personality, your identity.
Once you learn to be an individual beyond physiological and psychological formats, that means you're for good. This is what living death means. So if you know how to be an individual still, without physiological and psychological format, you are a living death. If you are a living death, you are eternal in your existence. It is time that you become living death so that you live eternally.
But there's a certain dimension of consciousness which can go beyond time. Yama came to claim his life. Markandeya, who knew the ways of life, just did one simple act. They say he continued to live as a 15-year-old because he came in touch with that dimension of consciousness which we refer to as Kala Bhairava.